Yes, welcome to another video. This is the review of the Leipzig versus Manchester City game, the match day 6 of the Champions League. City had already qualified and topped the group pre-game, so we were going into it with a little bit of like, is this going to be a good game? What we got in the end was not that. It was absolutely shocking. Got a few things to discuss. We're not going to go too over the top because at the end of the day, like, it is what it is. Like, we had already topped the group, we had already qualified. However,
you said it at the beginning of the preview, bro, and you're just like, this game is pointless.
Yeah, but there is still some stuff there that we need to like mention because, you know, it is still bad. Before we get into it, guys, I'm going to set a like target of 1,000 likes, so please smash a thumbs up on the video if you do enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And here's a message from Jolly Poddy.
This video is sponsored by Ultimate Fan. Ultimate Fan have a free app where you can be in with a chance of winning money every week. You open packs every week and build your Ultimate Premier League team. Think Fantasy Premier League / Ultimate Team. The person with the most points in that game week can win up to £1,500. Tweet us your teams at #CXUltimateFan. Shout out to Ultimate Fan for the sponsor.
Yes, John. Well explained, Bray.
Yeah, thanks, Bray.
On this day of poor football, you could be winning some free cash in it, you know what I mean, with your team in it. So get involved. Ultimate Fan, link in the description, UK only, and 18 and above. Big Amber aware. Right, okay. Now, the academy situation, right? He probably should have started at least 1 or 2 players, yeah, maybe. But the fact that he didn't start any from the start, I don't really have that much of an issue with. My issue, bro, is the fact that, like, Cole Palmer come on for 5 minutes. He should have brought some of these players on much sooner, you know what I mean? Kyle Walker didn't need to be on the pitch at the 70th minute, you know what I mean? He could have brought on Egan Riley and put him on at right back. Kyle Walker's played a lot of football. Like, for me, it's not necessarily the fact that he didn't start any. I would have liked to have seen 1 or 2. It's the fact that he didn't bring any on. Like, why Pep not bringing on these subs, bro?
Yeah, see, I wanted to see a lineup that was mixed of like giving rest to players that needed it, and we even called the preview rest and rotation because that's what we're talking about. And I kind of wanted to see some academy players in the starting lineup, but like you say, when I've seen it, I was like, right, okay, maybe they are. You know what I mean? Maybe they want to go win the 2.5 mil, whatever they get per group game win. Maybe that's the reason that they're going strong, and it's Pep. So I thought, right, okay then, but surely if this is the team now, we're going to see some academy players in the second half because, you know what I mean, we'll whip some of these first teamers off who've played so much football. Do you know what I mean? Like Kyle Walker, like Gundogan, these players who've played it, and also players who are just coming back into fitness like Phil Foden. So, obviously, things. Do you know what I mean? It didn't go our way, but also we still didn't see any academy players. So it was almost like a lose-lose because we didn't see them in the starting lineup, and then he didn't even bring them on anyway. So we lost with the full first team, not full first team, but we lost with the stronger 11. We may as well have lost with the academy 11.
Yeah, I know. It is frustrating because, you know what I mean, like, what you've got now is that no one's bothered about the fact we're lost. Yeah, it's the fact that none of these players played, and what you've got now, and you've given these fans the right and the option to say this, is you've got people now saying, and I've seen it countless times in 5 minutes on Twitter already. People saying, if you're an academy player, if you're James McAtee, if you're this, if you're that, why would you stay at City when in a game which is completely dead? Pep literally plays no academy players. You know what I mean? He's playing Fernandinho, a 36-year-old. Like, and whilst I don't mind him not necessarily starting the players, although maybe he should probably start 1 or 2, the fact that they're not even getting half an hour, you know, it's not good. You know what I mean? The club are always banging on about this academy. They spent a load of money on the academy. They're spending ridiculous amounts of money bringing in these young players at early ages. You know what I mean? Sometimes like £1 million to bring in like a 14-year-old or something like that. And the fact in a dead game, the opportunity to play there, it would have excited City fans to see academy players play. We opt for a team which really didn't need to be playing that many. And the subs, why not make the subs? Why does Fernandinho need to play 90 minutes? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. So he should have made some subs earlier. And I think that's what's caused a lot of the frustration, bro.
I think the academy players would have brought, like I said, a bit of excitement to the fans, and they'll have something to prove. So there could have been a bit more intensity from our team in the game. Because the academy players would be going for it proper, do you know what I mean? They'll want to prove themselves to City fans. They'd be absolutely buzzing. Do you know what I mean? If James McAtee starts this game, you know, he might even sign the contract.
Yeah.
But, do you know what I mean?
No, he's not, bro.
He's not signing that contract. After that, bro, he's going over going, what's my options?
Yeah,
where else can I go?
The thing is, we laugh, but he might be.
Yeah.
He might go home.
But it's fully reasonable to think that as well.
I know. He'll go out and speak to his family and he'll be like... I could have played with the EDS and played in the youth league and actually played some minutes. Instead, I'm pulled along to the first team, which I'm buzzing about, in a game which is a dead game, and I don't even come on the bench. Like, I am meant to be the upcoming star, and I'm not even getting 5 minutes. Like, it's just ridiculous. But that's what it is, you know what I mean? And that's Pep, what can you do? The performance wasn't great, to be honest, bro. You know what I mean? It was slow, lethargic, and I accept it to a certain degree, because ultimately, and I said this in a live watch-along, ultimately, they are qualified. They have topped the group, and the players knew that the intensity, what that extra 10% comes from needing to win, from wanting to win. The players didn't need to win tonight, and that's why the pace was always going to be a little bit slower, and that's why we probably should have had some academy players who actually had something to prove. But the drop-off was too much. I can accept a bit of a drop-off. I can accept a little bit of a slower press, a little bit more like slower in the possession of the ball, because of the intensity not being there, because we don't need to win the game. However, today it felt far too much. You know what I mean? It was like the players just weren't pressing hard enough, if at all. In possession, they were too slow, and I just felt that overall it was just too much of a drop off, and that's the reason that we got beat, and we were poor.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it was just trash. It wasn't a good game. It was probably, you said this is what I watched on, but from the start you could tell this wasn't going to go well. First 5 minutes you're like, this ain't going well. This is not going to go well, this game. You could almost feel how much of a drag that game would be after only 5 minutes of watching that game.
Yeah.
It was trash from the off. Our players kept losing the ball. Do you know what I mean? Cheaply as well. Cheaply giving balls away. It was almost like, say everyone usually is ticking along, everyone's going at the same pace, everyone has the same ideas, and it's all like, you can tell everything's worked really well, whereas in that game everything was just off. No players were like on the same wavelength. It was all out of sync. It was all a bit of a mess. So then, like, you got players doing runs, and like people give the ball late, was offside about 300 times.
Oh my God, don't talk to me about the offside.
Every single player was offside at least once in that game. Ilkay Gundogan, I don't think he made a pass. Every single time he got the ball, he tried to pass it to someone, it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And do you know what I mean? Kev came on. Obviously, Kev was on the pitch, and he was trying some balls, and he was doing some decent passes in that. But ultimately, anything that anyone did on that pitch led to nothing, other than Zinchenko crossed it into Mahrez, and it actually got to him.
Yeah,
the Leipzig players, bro, were just blocking all our shots, blocking any attempt at goal, and on our end, Stefan probably saved us from embarrassment. But that 2-1 scoreline there, Leipzig were looking at going, that could have been 4 or 5. Because Stefan saved so many.
He did. He made some top class saves. Before we get into the player ratings, guys, we have to talk about Kyle Walker. He's been absolutely phenomenal all season. A few people saying he probably shouldn't have even been in the starting lineup tonight, you know, given that he could have had a rest, which is fair. But the fact is, he was in the starting lineup. He was probably at fault for the first goal. He's not tracking his runner. He needs to track his runner. And the red card, I've just got to say, I think it's an absolute disgraceful challenge from Walker. I don't want to see that at my football club. I don't want to see players getting frustrated and swiping other players. It's not what I want to see. It's not what Man City's about. You know, that's just it now. He's out of the last 16. I'm not sure how many games he's out. I'll have to check. But it's just stupid, you know what I mean? It's just a stupid decision from him. He's an experienced international footballer. Pep's not going to be happy. I saw his post-match comments, Pep. He's definitely not happy with Walker. He didn't need to do that. Should he have been on the pitch in the first place? Probably not. Well, that's no excuse. It's a massive letdown from a player that I've been like looking at this guy thinking like, you're just a solid guy. You're putting in 8 out of 10 performances now every single week, if not higher. You know what I mean? And I can trust you. When he does stuff like that, I'm like, for God's sake, why are you doing that for? You know what I mean? The game didn't mean anything, but we just scored a goal. We had 10 minutes to get a second. We was trying to push for it, and he's just gone and done that. Absolutely ridiculous. And I hope Pep, you know, gives him the hairdryer treatment, bro, because he let me down.
He lost his head, didn't he? He completely lost his head, and he seen red, and like in 2 ways. Do you know what I mean? No pun in it, but yeah, he seen red in it. Do you know what I mean?
No time for jokes.
Went for it, and he. This is no time for jokes. It's a serious video. Yeah, but yeah, he seen red in it. Seen red, and he just like, yeah, okay, swiped him away. It was. You can't argue the challenge. It was a terrible challenge. I mean, he's not trying to play the ball. It's coming from behind and absolutely just battered his legs. There was no. It was just frustration, pure frustration from Kyle Walker, and then. In a game that didn't actually mean anything, he has now cost us in a game that does mean something because he's out of that round of 16, which so in turn he's kind of had a knock-on effect and something that shouldn't have been. And people will argue that he shouldn't have been on the pitch, but
that's irrelevant.
He is on the pitch. He is on the pitch. So when you're on the pitch, you put on the City shirt and that, you have to be respectable in that, and you can't. It's not. You can't be going about kicking people in it when you get frustrated. You have to just leave it in it.
Proper daft. Right, let's go into these player ratings then. Some of these are not pretty, guys. I'm not going to lie. In
Most
fact,
of these aren't pretty.
One of these that I'm going to see now is possibly the worst I've ever seen.
It's the worst.
These are decided by our extra club members, guys. These are the people that help support the channel. If you want to be an extra club member, help support the channel, you can do. Link in the description. Sometimes there's a button below my face that says join. Right, okay. Stefan, 8.3. I actually felt he could have got a bit higher than that, but he did concede 2 goals, so it's kind of reasonable. Walker, a 2. I think that's the lowest we've ever seen.
That's the lowest of a first. No, that's the lowest that I've ever seen other than a ref.
Yeah, that is bad, mate. 2, mate. He was at fault for the first goal, got himself sent off ridiculously. I can't really disagree with it because he had a stinker. He cost us the first goal and got sent off, and now he's out of the last 16. So it's a fair. I think it's a fair rating. Stones 5.3. Thought the guy was shaky. Not gonna lie, you know how much we love Don Stones, but I thought he needs to up his game. Ake 6.6. I actually thought he had a pretty solid game.
I thought Ake was decent today. Not even clearing in that.
I'm not sure if he was at fault for the second goal. I need to see that again. But yeah, other than that, yeah, pretty solid. Zinchenko 6.1 and Fernandinho 5.3. I thought he just had a pretty average game. I don't think he was. I think a lot of people saying he was bad on Twitter and that, but I don't think he was bad, mate. I thought he wasn't good, but I just thought he had a standard game, like a normal game. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think there was times when you can see his legs are going. You can see it now. Do you know what I mean? I remember last year it was like, oh, when are their legs going to go kind of thing, and it wasn't really clear. But this year it's kind of like, he just seemed a little bit, do you know what I mean, off the pace a bit. Maybe it's not, don't forget, the guy hasn't played much football either.
Yeah.
Gunnar gets a 4.5. Which isn't great. He had a terrible game. He had a really bad game. Yeah, you know what I mean? For what I tried in that, do you know what I mean? He tried to make things work, tried to make the passes and that, but every single pass he was trying,
bad day at the office for him, innit?
Yeah, it didn't come off. But do you know what I mean? Hopefully his Premier League form comes back because no doubt we'll see him again soon. KDB gets 6.1. He's probably the best out midfield, as I rate and say. And then front three, Mahrez gets a 6.6. He obviously got the goal. Grealish gets a 5.5. He was trying to work things, but nothing was paying off. And Foden gets a 5.3. Foden's come away with a bit of a knock as well after that game, which is, again, a game that doesn't mean anything. And we've played Foden instead of academy player and ended up.
Yeah,
that has now again had a knock-on effect because Foden has now picked up a little bit of an injury and he came off at half-time.
Yeah, I know. It's great to see Mahrez there with the joint highest rating of the team. I thought he was pretty decent and his header was incredible, bro.
And Stefan got 8.3 in it. Stefan's one of the match outfield. Yeah.
So, yeah, there it is. The rest is on the screen there. I thought Pep had a stinker, to be honest. Don't like what he did today. Don't like his starting lineup. Don't like his subs.
I mean, Tufay got 5.8. I think that's one of the lowest I've ever seen Pep get.
Yeah, so just all in all, guys, a pretty shit game. What I'd say is, once you've watched this video,
clear it. Clear your mind.
Yeah.
Focus on the weekend. Wolves, top of the Premier League. I mean, ultimately, this game didn't mean anything. So let's go forward now. Think forward. Think top of the Premier League. Let's go secure that place. Half 12 on Saturday.
Absolutely. Ahead of Saturday, guys, if you want to get yourself involved in a free-to-play game, which means you can win some cash prizes, go download the Ultimate Fan app. Links in the description and the pinned comment. You got to be from the UK. You got to be over 18 and always be gamble aware. Download the app, select your team from the players you get out of the packs and submit it, and then you've got a chance of winning some free cash. Both me and Jordan play. Jordan's got the paid version, I got the free version, and you've got a good chance of winning some cash. So give it a go. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below on the game. Smash a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we'll see you in the next one. See you in a bit.